Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another Horus Heresy Legion's deck guide. Tonight, we are covering the Sisters of Silence Lord Commander, or whatever, Knight Commander, what's her name? Knight Commander, Jenetia Kroll, and a deck based around her. This deck is surprisingly mainly going for her Whispers ability, which, if we scroll down, her Reckoning is -1 cost at the end of each turn if your opponent controls no troops. That includes your own turn. So it ticks down if you are fighting and successfully controlling the board state. The Soulless Queen. The enemy warlord has Sentence 2 and 1 energy, deal 1 damage to the enemy warlord. She doesn't gain a bonus attack, unlike most Reckonings and Whispers. I believe the only other exception to that rule, or rules, the only other exceptions are Magnus and Malkador. Both powerful Psychers, and she is a powerful blank. Interesting. Anyway, so we start off with the deck. Null Maiden. Enemy tactics cost 2, and unit abilities cost 2 more until your next turn. I believe the enemy tactics is bugged. Unit abilities I can see always reading as +2, but I do believe, and we'll cover some times where I think I am almost certain that it wasn't working right. We'll cover. Anyways, Pale Scourge, after enemy units Null Maiden. Pale Scourge, deal 1 damage to all enemies, or 3 if they have Psyker. It's a 1 energy equivalent to Informant Network without revealing stealth. Steel Talon Hawk, 1 energy, jam, and deal 2 damage to a random enemy troop. This is the kind of thing that can get you out of a lot of sticky situations. Or, if you're unlucky, put you into something that is a sticky situation. Final Sacrifice. Destroy a friendly Sisters of Silence troop and a random enemy troop. This is good if you have a troop that you're willing to burn. Lectitio. This was added in at near the end of my recordings, and this is just because you are starved of card draw with I believe it's a high initiative Primarch. You lose a card and you don't get an extra card for going second often. Oath of Silence. Give +2/0 to a friendly unit this turn. It's nice to get her to be able to get her battle honor, give +1/+1 to a friendly troop. Allows that to happen more regularly. Winter Crows. Rally, stun an enemy troop with higher attack than this troop. Also useful if considering it's only 2 attack. So, Cleansing Flame. Deal 2 damage to an enemy and 1 to its adjacents. This is useful for softening up targets enough to get into the range of various kills from any of your units, really. Daughters of the Abyss. Choose a Sisters of Silence infantry and put it in your hand. It costs 2 less. This functions very well in terms of getting you something like a really early Frost Wolves. This stat line for 5 energy. A 6/6 and +1 attack and health for your entire board for 5 energy is insane. Or you can get things like Euphemia King, who I do not have, and if I had her, she would most certainly be replacing the... Let's see. I'd probably have her replacing the DSATs. Anyways, Execution Blade. +1 attack during your turn. Good when you don't have a Warlord power. Ice Serpents, rally, give can't attack to an enemy until your next turn. Useful, 3/3 for 3. Prosecutor Mistress, rally, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Also useful for putting anything into lethal range. We have 2 of those in the deck. Raven's Claw, rally, your warlord gains sneak attack and +1 attack this turn. It's, once again, just buffing your warlord's attack. Seeker Cadre, jam any troop damaged by this unit with the active ability of 1 energy, deal 2 damage. You can do things like stop plague toads, or just a variety of things. The ability to jam is always useful, with the exception of things like an Eater of Worlds or Slayer of Worlds. Coup de grace. Destroy a damaged enemy troop, draw a card. 4 energy removal, but conditional. Knight Centura. Frontline, 3/5 for 4. Alright stats with the 2 energy active ability. Deal damage equal to this troop's attack to an enemy troop. This is our only frontline in the deck, and I'm considering doing something like maybe swapping this out for a Ornatov's Barge. I never implemented that in the testing phase, though. Silver Osprey Vigilator Squad. Deal 2 damage as a rally, ordnance 3, so deal 5 damage to a vehicle, 4/3 for 4 energy. Vyronii Armor. Your warlord gains battle honor, heals 2. This is also an incredible addition to your arsenal as the Sisters of Silence person who can only attack, at least to start. White Falcons, flank, and rally if there is an enemy with higher attack, gain sneak attack. This is useful for just helping maintain board state, keeping your reckoning ticking down. DSATs, needs very little introduction. 5 energy, deal 1 to 4 damage to each enemy. It always works against you and never against the enemy. Remember this. White Asps. Rally, destroy an enemy troop with higher attack than this troop. That's very conditional, considering they have a fairly good attack stat of 6. And so you are left wondering, well, how useful is that? It's very useful. Ebon Narada. It's a 6 energy 3/3, which is pretty bad on its own. But the rally ability is draw 3 cards. For each Sisters of Silence troop drawn, heal 1 to your units. That's pretty good. Particularly if you're doing something like that, where you need healing. You're always swinging with this warlord. You need healing. And if you can heal 3 to your entire board, that's pretty good. That's half the effect of an endurance. Iron Lynx. I would actually probably substitute this for Ornatov's now that I'm thinking about it. Just a 6 energy 3/3, put in play 2 2/3s with terror. But have the conditional if the enemy has Psyche that has +3 attack, if I remember correctly. Vigilator Squad. Frontline, 6/6 for 6. Or no, not frontline, first strike. You buff this thing up crazy with your battle honor. This suddenly becomes better than the ones than objects like the Sanguinary Guard or what's its name, Hunting Eagles for the Custodes. Next up we have the Frost Wolves. Give +1/+1 to your Sister's Silence troops in play, a 5/5 for 7 energy. Stats aren't good, but considering it's a for its energy, but considering its powerful resolution, the mediocre stats can be overlooked, especially considering it just becomes a 6/6 for 7 at that point. The Great Tithe. Destroy all troops in play. Deal 3 damage to the enemy warlord for each friendly troop destroyed. This is one of those things where, in the right times, it can be a game ender. Very effective game ender. However, that's very conditional on its own. You need to have enough on the board and have used them so well enough that you feel well sacrificing them. And then rounding out the deck, we have White Tigers. A flank, an 8/6 for 8 energy. With Battle Honor, give +2 attack to your units this turn. Alright, let's launch into these games. These were... So, let's start with our... Trying to think of which one I actually want to start on. Let's start with Nasir. So, Blood Angels. They're pretty good right now. We get Execution Blade on in our first hand. This is looking good so far. We have an energy curve aside from the first turn.
They call me the Flesh.
We go face. We're just burning him down, because if we let his stuff get on the board, it's going to spiral out of control.
Old friends, new enemies.
Gonna have to play the Execution Blade. I should really be swinging face, and I don't. I just wanted that Battle Honor, bro. And his 2 energy deal 3 damage to a random enemy. That's really strong. And don't get me started on Sanguinius. He is at the level of insanity at the moment. A Reckoning is slowly ticking down, and of course he gets the 50-50. Unfortunately, he's not playing... Unfortunately for him, pardon. He's not playing strategically. We play Lactitia. Do I play the Prosecutor? Yeah, I'm making the gamble that he's not going to have many troops on board at any one time. And so I just need him burning down. And he swings face. Pardon. Then I believe at this point I play the Iron Lynx. Building it up, building horizontally to see if I can bait him into playing something like an Orditas, which he does not do. Then I believe at this point I pop the Vyronii armor. Vyronii, however it's said. Then we smack face, and smack face, and smack face. No. He gets the Blade and Carmine. He hits the 33% chance to hit the one that really matters. And he has this board state again. Reckoning is now playable. At this point I play the Vigilator squad, thinking he's going to be playing the Sanguinary Guard now that he sees my big scary troop is out on board. And what ho, he does. My Vigilator drops, but in doing so, I've baited out a legendary.
One
with the White Asps, drop the white asps. We play Null Maiden in case he tries to do anything suspicious and forces it to where he's got a lot less. He hits me once. He hits me twice. And with the Reckoning... Oh, I believe he resigned at this point. Yes, he must have resigned with how long this is taking. So, moving on from there, let's take a look at one of the ones that's a bit of a pain. Let's look at Ultramarines. With Ultramarines, they benefit from having no board state.
May my blade be true to this
And when you're fighting
Fight as one.
the Ultramarines, you don't want to really give them a nice, easy board state to get stuff with. But he's a mission Ultramarine. The most easy mission ever. I'm letting him just not play anything. I don't mind. Keep ticking down my Reckoning. And I'm just keeping it to where... Now I believe I play the Execution Blade. And then I start swinging still, because now he's no longer out healing. He plays Savior of Calth. Still swinging face. I should probably have gotten a bit more conservative by this point, and I believe we put in play the Iron Links. Oh no, I don't. I believe at this point we play Steel Talon. Do we drop the Ice Serpents? The Falcons. We play the Falcons. And we swing here. Get that 5/5, and then I believe we play Null Maiden, trying to make it to where he can't do something like play a Miatis Cruiser and just get rid of it. But of course, he doesn't need the Miatis Cruiser, he just has a Trajan squad. And then he has the Manius Recon. That's only 4 energy? Huh. My Reckoning is now playable. At this point we play Ice Serpents. And then the Prosecutor. Get the Smack and get the Ice Serpents buffed up. He plays Opening Salvo. And then he plays the Bikes. No, he plays the Ingenuous Command Squad. And he gets his first Survivor tick. I really need to remember to remove the guaranteed bonuses before doing stuff like that. At this point, I'm trying to keep anything like his healing or any tactics from becoming useful. But of course he has the card that'll allow him to wipe my board state anyways. So he does it. At this point, I think I pop my Reckoning next turn. Or do I play Frostwolves? I play my Reckoning. I might have been better off with the Frost Wolves and Lactitia.
That delivers justice to the wicked.
And then just play, then buff it up and it'll be a 7/7. And now he's gotten his mission off. It's the most free mission I've ever heard of. Maybe I'd see it better triggering Courage, because that actually leans into the Ultramarines' core style. We play the 9th Centura, I know it'll die. At this point I've already lost. It's just a matter of time. He gets the Master of Hosts. It's all downhill from here. Let's see what Ebon Narada draws us. Vigilator, Lactitio, and Coup. None of those will save me at this point. And that's the end of the game.
Evil won't remain unpunished.
For our last one of the night, let's see what a Sol Tarvitz game looks like. Dropping the Ice Serpents because keeping the Coup may be useful later on.
May my blade be true to
We
this
get a
moment.
Lectitio opener.
For honor!
Hey, now we've got a 3 energy turn again. I kind of hope that my Execution Blade gets drawn there, but you win some, you lose some. He just passes his turn there. Then I play a Daughters, and we pull a Witch Hunters. Gets a reduced cost by 1. That's a lot of cards in hand he just reduced the cost of. We play a Prosecutor. We swing. Then I believe that ends the turn. Nope, we play Null Maiden. So now he can't land something like a Cacophony Commander if he wanted to reduce the cost. But he plays Abandoned Supplies for 2 energy. The reducing or increasing the cost of tactics did not work. We play the Iron Lynx. Now, what's he going to play? He's going to play Double D. And he gets in our Korean Stormblade. And we throw a dog to it. Perish. Because dogs are definitely infantry. We give him a good smacking all around. We now can pop our Reckoning at any point. He gets the Defense Force onto the board. Now that is real danger. I forget this thing has 6 health and that Battle Honor doesn't trigger when you die. So that was a bit butt backwards. And I think at this point I swing there to get this buffed up. Now, we play Prosecutors. Then we play the Coup onto the Iron Column. And then we play the top deck, and away goes his defense force. He's down to 8 health. We have control of the board again. And our reckoning continues to tick down. And here, we close out the game with our reckoning. And 2 swings to
We
the
are the
face.
light that delivers justice to the wicked.
So, concluding thoughts regarding this deck. You are RNG dependent. There's a lot of singular copies of cards in here. I'm not exactly sure on everything I would substitute out. I would definitely substitute the Iron Lynx for a Ornitov's Barge. I have that, but I just haven't made the change yet. That is the change I would make to this deck, first and foremost. Next up, if you had it, I would swap the defense satellites, because we have the Ornitov's Barge as a similar but not the same. I would swap the defense satellites for Euphemia King. And in the end, you have really got to have the luck on your side to maintain your board state advantage with this deck. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment if you have something to share. If you disliked this video, I will have a dislike comment with which you can voice your displeasure. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.